A couple of years ago, legendary director Ridley Scott began talking about his desire to make a sequel to his classic sci-fi film Blade Runner. Last year, original Blade Runner writer Hampton Fancher came aboard to pen a screenplay in what was called a story that takes some years after the original. However, since then, almost nothing has been heard about the project, and Ridley Scott went on to direct The Counselor, which is opening in AMC theaters on October 25th, and is already working on his next film, Exodus, based on the biblical narrative. However, in a recent interview, actor Harrison Ford claims that he and Scott are still talking about it, saying, "Yeah, we've been chatting about it. I truly admire Ridley as a man and as a director, and I would be very happy to engage again with him in the further telling of this story." John, at this point, do you think we're ever going to actually see a Blade Runner sequel?
I'm reminded of this song that my mother used to sing to me when I was a kid. It goes something like this. Not a chance in hell. It goes something like that. I can't remember. Why my mother sang that to me as a kid, I'm not really sure. No, I don't think this is ever going to happen. Now, this has nothing to do with the fact that I said on the show the other day that Blade Runner to me is one of those movies that everybody on the planet loves that I don't actually care for. I don't know why I'm so dumb. All my friends who are smarter than me love it, and I just don't. But the fact of the matter is, look, Ridley did The Counselor. That's still yet to come out, and it's come out in a few weeks. It looks amazing, by the way. I can't wait to see that. And then he's going right into doing Exodus, and that's going to be keeping him busy for a while. He's already in his 70s. I don't know that really... I think there was a little window of time there back when they were starting to shoot, not Avatar, but rather Prometheus, that maybe there was a window of an opportunity there that he could have jumped into doing Blade Runner 2 after finishing Prometheus, but that never happened and never transpired. And so, look, let's say all other things are being normal and equal here. We'd be looking at probably 3 years before he was going to start on that, and then 4 or 5 years before it would even come out. I just think that the window for it has closed. That's just my opinion. Shep, what do you think?
I'm going to differ. I think they're going to shoot it right after Exodus. I mean, they're shooting Exodus right now. I've seen some stills from it, so my guess is they're going to be wrapped with that in a few months. Maybe going to pre-pro and Blade Runner. I mean, I'd love to see a Blade Runner sequel from Ridley Scott and have Harrison Ford in it. I don't want to see a Blade Runner 2 without those guys involved. So if I have to see a Blade Runner is one of my favorite all-time science fiction films. I don't know what's wrong with Campea. But
also something my mother would say a lot.
I'm just not going to judge him. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has their own opinions. But it's one of my favorite films, and so for me, it's like kind of a touchy subject as far as should there be a sequel, should there not be a sequel. But I say go for the sequel because, in truth, if the sequel doesn't work and it's not a good film, I still have that first movie, you know. So sequels never really bother me. I could forget about the second 2 Matrix movies, and I still love the first Matrix film. So I'd like to see it happen. So I hope it does.
Aaron, what do you think?
Well, I would love to see a Blade Runner sequel, almost more than any other sci-fi. I would love to see a sequel to this movie. However, I don't think we're going to get one either, and I don't think Harrison Ford would be attached if we are going to get one. Although he said that he would like to, the producers have also mentioned that this is probably unlikely because if they would make a second installment, it would be completely different than the first and a complete reimagining of the role and what's going on in that film. So I really don't think we're going to get a Blade Runner 2 with Harrison Ford.
And considering how popular Blade Runner is, I mean, what else? What's Harrison Ford going to say? No, I don't want to go back to that crap. No, of course he'd say, yeah, I would love to be involved with that. Of course, that's what you say for the PR stuff, but it's possible. I just think unlikely. Hopefully, for those of you who do love it, Schnepp is right.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.